So, okay, good morning to everyone. So now today in the Java, we will see the wrapper class concept. So what is the wrapper class in Java? We will see about it. So wrapper classes are used to convert primitive data type. Wrapper class is used to convert primitive data type into object and vice versa. So we know that there is a primitive data type and user defined data type, then secondary data type. So mainly what? Converting the primitive data type. The primitive data type, we know that what are the primitive data type present? Integer, character, then byte, short, long, boolean. These are all primitive data type. Now, to convert this primitive data type into object or from object to the primitive data type, we call this as the wrapper class. Now, like we say, Java is the object-oriented language. Now, object-oriented means how many variables or how many different type of identifier used in the program are all to be present according to the object form. Because it is an object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming means that the variables and the different identifier, whichever it is used in the program, are all to be present according to the object form. All to be present according to the object form. So, but in Java, primitive data types are not removed. That means the primitive data types will not removed here, are not removed here. It is still present there. And the primitive data type that we say that Boolean, character, byte, short, int, long, float, double, all are present for the primitive data type. Now, this data type, if we convert into the objects using the wrapper class, this is into the objects using this converted into the objects using wrapper class. So converting the primitive data type, converting the primitive data type into objects or the vice versa, we called is as the wrapper class. Now we can also convert those objects into the primitive data types using same wrapper class. So using same wrapper class, we convert it from primitive data type to the object or from object to the primitive data type using the same wrapper class. Now wrapper class contains two different features. So wrapper class have the two different features of the mechanism present. Now, what are the mechanism? These two mechanisms are what? One is autoboxing and another one is unboxing. Now, autoboxing is automatic conversion of primitive data type into object. That means it is the conversion, the automatic conversion. It is the automatic conversion of primitive data type. It is the automatic conversion of primitive data type to object. That means primitive data type is converted into object. And unboxing is just the reverse. Unboxing is just the reverse. That means automatic conversion of object into primitive data type. So autoboxing is converting primitive data type into object, and unboxing is just the reverse from object to primitive data type. That is the autoboxing and unboxing concept. Now we have 8 classes present. We have 8 classes present in the java.lang package. In the java.lang package, there are 8 classes present and they are known as the wrapper class in Java. They are known as the wrapper class in Java. So first we will see what are the primitive type and another is the wrapper class. So see, there is one field that is primitive type and another one is the wrapper class. So we have total 8 wrapper class present. We have total 8 wrapper classes present that is present on the java.lang package. These 8 classes are present into the java.lang package. Now, the primitive type and the wrapper class, it is written. So primitive type is Boolean. You see the primitive type is Boolean. Now in the wrapper class, it is also same. Only there is the caps B. In case of here, it is small b, here it is caps B. For char, if the primitive type is char, then the wrapper class is the character. Then the wrapper class is the character. If the primitive type is byte, then the wrapper class is byte, only the B is caps. It is same. If it is short, primitive type is short, then here also it is short, only S is capital. Same as that for int, if we use int for a primitive type, then the wrapper class of int will be integer. And if the primitive type is long, then the wrapper class will be long. Only L will be the caps. And if it is float, let's say this is float. So for float, it will also be float, only F will be the capital, and for double, it will also be double, only D is capital. Now, if you observe it, if you observed all of the primitive type and wrapper class, in each and every cases, only character, char and int, these two have total form of this, char as the character and int as the integer. And all other primitive type and wrapper class are same, only the first character is on the caps form. The name in the primitive type and the name of the wrapper class, all others are same. Only character and int, it is character. For char, it is character. For int, it is integer. But for every other primitive type, the name is same as the wrapper class. The name same in the wrapper class. So only it is caps. Only the format is caps. Others, it is same. So these are the 8. If you see, this is the 8 classes. So these 8 wrapper classes that are present, these 8 wrapper classes are present into the java.lang package. Now we will observe through an example that how this wrapper classes we done and what is the uses of this wrapper classes. So through example, if we see, let's say through example, we will see. So first example, we will take from primitive to wrapper class. So primitive to wrapper class, what is means primitive data type to primitive to wrapper class, and another one we will see from wrapper to primitive. This we will see. So primitive to wrapper class, we will first example, we will see here. So here we have taken a class that name is wrapper1. So class name is taken. This is name as taken as the wrapper1. And inside this class, we have the main function, that is the public static void main and string x or string a, though you can read, right? So after that, inside the main, there is a variable declared. You see, there is a variable declared int I equal to 100. So I value is 100 and it is of the integer type. That means it is the primitive type. It is the primitive type. So that's why integer means it is the primitive type int. Int means what? It is the primitive data type. So using a primitive data type, it is given that I value is 100 and it is of the integer type. And int is the primitive data type. Now, there may be two ways. If we declare it like this, if we do these functions, that integer j equal to integer dot value of, and in the value of function, if we send I as the parameter, now this is the explicit conversion. This is the explicit conversion from primitive to wrapper class. This is the explicit conversion. So here, if we write this statement, integer j equal to integer dot value of, and as a parameter, the I. This I as a parameter we are sending. It is the explicit conversion. Now, what explicit conversion it is? It is the converting primitive data type. It is converting primitive data type because I is what? I is int I equal to 100. So that means what? Int I. So that is the primitive data type. So that means through this, we are converting primitive data type I to an object of type integer and using the functions of integer dot value of. Now, integer dot value of is the function. Using this integer dot value of function, we are converting primitive data type I to an object. Now, this value will stored where? This value will stored here. Now, J is what? J is the object of the integer class. This class object. So that's why it is written that converting primitive data type I, because I is the primitive data type, to an object of type integer, and using the function integer dot value of. So this function is used. Integer dot value of function is used. This function is converting what? Primitive data type I to an object of type integer. So that means this value will be stored here, because this conversion, after this conversion, it will be stored here. So this is the explicit conversion. But if I didn't use it, if I didn't use this, directly I said that integer AB equal to I. Now this is integer AB equal to I is the auto boxing. This is the auto boxing format. That means conversion of primitive data type into object. That if we write this, if we write it integer AB equal to I, this is concept of what? This is the concept of the auto boxing. And now if we write directly this thing, that means the JVM will write integer, the function, the thing which we have done here explicitly, this function or this operations. If we write only this integer AB equal to I, then JVM will internally perform this operation. JVM will internally perform this operation. No need to explicitly mention this. So if we only write integer AB equal to I, then integer, this explicitly, which I have said that this can be done for conversion of primitive data type to I, primitive data type I to an object of the type integer using the functions of the integer dot value of, it will, compiler will do it internally. If we write this statement, integer AB equal to I, so that means directly it will convert. This is the primitive data type and this is the object, integer class object AB. So directly converting primitive data type into the object. And if we write this, then JVM will internally do this operation. There is no need to mention explicitly to this operation. Okay, and through system.out.println, we will print the values. So this is what the from converting primitive to the wrapper class. This is the concept of converting primitive to wrapper class. Okay, clear till now? समझ में आया? शुभम, हर्षित?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, we will see from wrapper to primitive. Then first we have already seen primitive to wrapper. Now we will see from wrapper to primitive concept. Now here also we will take a class name. Let's say class wrapper 2. This class name, we have taken this class as wrapper 2 name. Then in the public static void main, we have created public static void main, and inside the main. Now inside the main, if we write integer I, if we write integer I equal to new integer, and as a parameter, we are placing the value 10. So that means integer, this is the class, integer class object is created. Integer class object we have created. Now this integer, if you remember, this integer is present where? Now in sometimes previously I have shown that integer is the wrapper class, and this integer wrapper class is present on the java.lang package. This integer class is present on the java.lang package. This is what, this is I am saying that this is the integer class and this is the wrapper class, and these 8 wrapper classes are present in java.lang package. So that means we are creating object of the integer class. This integer class object we are creating integer I equal to new integer. So the object is created, and as a parameter we are sending the value 10. So that means this 10 value will be, this 10 value we will store into I. So that means the object, now this integer object will contains this value because 10 is passed as a parameter. So that means this value is stored into the object of the integer class. Now object of the integer class is what? The object of the integer class is I. So that means as a parameter, whatever the value we have sent, it is stored into the object. Now which object? Integer class object. So integer class object is what? I. So that means 10 will be stored into the I. So the I value is now 10. Okay. Now let's say, yes. Now let's say this is done, that this is what we are converting the some wrapper class. That means from converting the object into the primitive type, if we are doing this. Now this object we have created, and after that, let's say we are using this as explicitly. Now we have seen explicitly conversion of wrapper to primitive and then the autoboxing concept. Now we will see first explicitly from conversion of object to primitive, and after that unboxing. We will see that. So here it is written int ab equal to I dot int value. Now this function int value, this function int value will convert to particular object I, because I is what? I is the object of the integer class. I is the object of integer class, and with this object we are calling int value method or int value function. With this object we are calling int value functions, and the result we will get will be stored into the variable ab because it is a primitive data type. So that means what? Through object of integer class we are calling int value function. Now after performing the result we will get, it will be stored into the ab variable which is of the int type. That means here we are converting our object into the primitive data type. So that means converting particular object I into primitive data type int. So this is what we have done. So this is what if we explicitly convert the primitive data type into the object into the primitive data type. Now, if we do not write this statement, if we do not want to write this statement, and let's say directly write, let's say we have directly write this int j equal to I. We have directly write int j equal to I. Now that is unboxing, because I is the object, I is the object of integer class. I is the object of the integer class. I is the object of integer class. Now, integer is what? It is the wrapper class. So that means it is the object. I is the object of the integer class. And we are storing this object directly into the variable int j. So if we write directly this statement, then also these operations will be performed. So the operations I have said previously, the operations I have discussed previously, this operation, this is the operation. So these operations will do what? These operations compiler will do automatically. Compiler will do automatically if we write like this statement. This is what, this is explicitly I am saying. But if we write that statement also, then also the compiler will directly do that. And internally, this same operations will perform. So compiler, this same operations will be performed internally. So this is what autoboxing and unboxing is. Okay. Clear till now? Autoboxing unboxing क्या है? Clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the concept of the wrapper class. Now we will go to and thing that is Java JDBC. Okay. The another concept we will see today about the Java JDBC. Now, what is Java JDBC? Java JDBC means JDBC Java Database Connectivity. JDBC's full form is Java Database Connectivity. Now, Java Database Connectivity means the name suggests that if you see the name from here, you can say that to connect Java with the database. This is simple words. In simple words, we can say connect database with the Java. Because the name suggests that Java database connectivity means connection between Java and the database. So this is what the JDBC concept is. Now Java JDBC is what? Java JDBC is a Java application programmable interface. Java JDBC is a Java application programmable interface. That means it is an API. Now this API is used to what? This API is used to connect and execute query with the database. So the database query which are present, and to connect the database, this Java application programmable interface is used. Now, if you see the drawing, if you see there is then there is a Java JDBC driver, and another one is the database. So you see this data, this is a database present. In this database, there is the database present, and there is an Java API. This is the Java API. So now, if we see this architecture, this is the Java application, this is the JDBC driver, this is the database, and in this Java application, there is the JDBC application programmable interface present. Now, if we, this is the architecture of Java JDBC. So if we explain this, then what it is? So there is the JDBC application programmable interface. Now, this JDBC application programmable interface, in which we write the Java application. In this JDBC application programmable interface, we write the Java application. Now this Java application uses the JDBC API. Now, to connect Java application, there is a JDBC using which means this using this JDBC API, we write Java application. Using this JDBC API means Java database connectivity application programmable interface. We write the Java application. Now this Java application uses means that this Java application will use this JDBC API. Now this Java application and database, to connect this Java application with the database, this Java application and connection with the database. For making this connection, JDBC driver is used. JDBC driver is used what? For making the connection between Java application and the database. We used this JDBC driver. Now this driver actually this driver actually connects Java application to the database. Now what database there can be? The database can be any type. The database can be of any type. It can be Oracle database, it can be MySQL database, it can be MS Access, and so on. So whatever database it may happen, it is not our thing that anything, any database it may happen. But what this JDBC driver basically do, though we write the programs, Java application program, and this Java application program is using the Java JDBC API, using this JDBC API, and this JDBC API Java application will uses the JDBC API, and then through connect this Java application, we uses to connect Java application to the database. The JDBC driver is used, and in the database, this database may be anything. This may be Oracle, this may be MySQL, this may be MS Access, whatever it may be. It is anything. Now, we will show that how to connect the database in the Java. Now, how to connect, or the steps to connect the database in the Java. We will see that. Now, step to connect database in Java. Step to connect database in Java. So whatever the steps that is used to connect database in the Java. So first is register the driver class. We have to first register the driver. Now register driver class means registration of the driver class. For doing this, for name method is used. For doing this, for name method is used. Now this for name method will do what? This for name method is used to register. This for name method is used to register driver class dynamically. It is used to register the driver, that JDBC driver, which I have talked later, through connect Java application to the database. So for connecting Java application to the database, the JDBC driver is used. So if we want to connect the database into the Java, then the first step, what should be? JDBC driver should be present, because if we didn't use the JDBC driver, then we cannot able to connect Java application with the database. So for that, first, what things we should do? We should register the driver class. Now for registration of the driver class, for name method is used. This for name method will do what? This will register driver class dynamically. For example, we have to load or register Oracle driver class. Let's say we have said that any of the database we can take. So it may be Oracle, it may be MySQL, it may be MS Access, anything. So let's say we have to load the Oracle driver class. Let's say we have to, because we are using the Oracle database. So for using the Oracle database, we have to use what? Oracle driver class. Then we should write like that. So how we will write it? If we observe, we will write it like class.forName. So this is the class name, class dot font name, because for using said that this method is used to our register driver class dynamically. So font name method will be used. Now font name method, which this class will call the font name. This class name dot is class dot font name will be called. And inside this as a parameter, we will use this string. Now this string, which is used to register what is oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver, we have passed as a string. So what it mentioned, the string which is used to register or specify which type of database we are registering. So that's why as a parameter which we will send. Now if we use, in that case, if we say we use the MySQL, then that time we will use mysql.jdbc.driver.mysql driver. In case of MS Access, we will write msaccess.jdbc.driver.msaccess driver. So whatever the string, this string suggests that used to register or specify which type of a database we are registering. The string says that. Now, once the driver class is loaded in our program, first the driver is loaded, like that's where we load the driver. So after loading the driver, after loading that, now the driver is loaded. So Java application, database, and between them, the JDBC driver is present. So only using JDBC driver, we cannot do anything. So what we have to do? The next step is making the connection. The next step is making the connection. So once the driver class is loaded in our program, we will then create the connection with the database. Now JDBC driver is loaded. So after loading, we will create the connection with the database. Now to create connection for loading purpose, for dynamically loading for driver class, we have seen that we have to use font name method. For creating the connection, we will use get connection method. For creating connection, we will use the get connection method. Now, this get connection method will do what? It will connect. It will able to connect with the create connection with the database. So next step is, you see, next step we have create connection object. Now, for example, we have to establish connection with the Oracle database. Let's say we have to establish connection with the Oracle database. Then the object of the connection class should be created. So that means we have to create the object of the connection class, because we want to establish connection with the Oracle database. And for this, we have to do what? We have to create object of the connection class. So first, connection con. Now con is what? Con is the object given, name of the object given of the connection class. Equal to driver manager dot get connection. So I have said to create what? We have to use the get connection method. So get connection method, you see this method is used. Driver manager dot get connection method. And as a parameter, we uses three things. One is the path of the database. Another one is the username of the database and password of the database. So in the get connection method, we will pass parameter as a what? Path of the database. Three parameters we will pass in the get connection method. One is the path of the database, another one is the username of the database, and the password of the database. Look, so let's say that the path of the database is the name of the database, mainly the name of the database. Let's say the name of the database is EMP. So this database in the get connection, as a first parameter, we will send it. Then second is username of the database. Let's say the username is root. let's say the username is root. So we will send username of the database root like that. So in case of here, we will send root, and password, let's say the password is blank. The password is blank. So through get connection method, we will then send what? EMP root and blank. This will be sent. EMP is the path of the database. Root is the username of the database, and blank is the password. So these parameters we have sent in the as a get connection in the parameter as a get connection method. So like that, we create the connection. Driver is loaded. First step, driver is loaded, then connection is created. Now driver is loaded, connection is created, then what we have to do? We have to create the statement. That means the queries. Now we have to write the queries because driver loaded, connection created. Next step is what? Next step is we have to execute the queries with the database. So after this, we will use create statement. The next step is create statement object. Now, once the connection with the database is created, we have to use create statement object. Now we have to use the create statement object. Now, statement object is responsible for what? Statement object will be responsible for executing queries with the database. Statement object. So the object of the statement class which will create will be responsible for executing the query in the database. The statement class object will be responsible for executing the queries in the database. So let's say, as an example, you see, we have created the statement. This is the class name. So statement class object. So the statement class object we have created start. So statement class object is start equal to con. Now this con is what? This con is the connection class object. You see, this con is the connection class object. So statement start means statement class object equal to con. This con is what? The object of the connection class. So through object of the connection class, we will call the create statement method. We'll call the create statement method. So through object of the connection class, we will call the create statement method. So that means after create statement method, so create statement method we have used. So driver is loaded, then connection